So what we're going to do today is we're going to let Frankie use a knife. And she's 4, so if there's any blood, parental guidance will be expected. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a one-pot pasta dish that you can make with your children. And it's going to have pasta, sweet Italian sausage. This is a Neiman Ranch or Nyman Ranch. It's pre-cooked, and I like that. But you can get uncooked Italian sausage, oven roast it, and then let it cool and start with it. But this is already done, and it's a lot easier, and it actually tastes really good. And then fresh broccoli, and we're going to start with the broccoli. So I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way. Go easy on the broccoli, kid. So what you want to do with your broccoli, I buy these crowns. So I just take the bottom off, and I can get rid of that. And then what you do is, wait, you can split that when you get to it. So, whoop, whoop, split it. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take this like this, see? And take this, all these little branches off, and we'll cut them up into smaller pieces after a minute here. But the first thing you want to do is just kind of get them off the central stem here, right? And then just cut them off. As you progress up, obviously they will get smaller. At some point you make a decision to just cut it off and then just tear these up, and you can just take these guys and use your paring knife to section off little pieces so that they will be essentially, the idea is to get them to be smaller so they're like fork size. Frankie, I'm going to show them the cool part now. The cool part is the stem is yummy, right?
Yep. Can I shave off some stem?
No, you may not.
Why?
Because this is a highly technical piece of work here. Don't mess with me with your knife. You're going to cut me in half, little sister.
I'm going to.
All right, wow. Keep cutting that stuff in half. Yeah, right through. Good. So this knife that we bought for Frankie is cool because it's got a little guard. Hold up the knife and show it to him, Frankie. Show it to the camera. That one over there. So it's got a little place for a finger, and it's got a little guard, and your kid's probably going to cut themselves. And it's possible, and it's okay. Just everybody relax. Just a little blood, it cleans up. Because in the restaurant business, people cut themselves, unfortunately, more often than we'd want. Oh, let me get back to the stem thing. So the stem, you peel the stem, like I just did. I take all the outside off, and then we cut it into pieces. And I can let Frankie do that. Cut it long ways, please.
Okay.
There you go, long ways. And then you, whoa, slow down. And then you cut it again. And this is quite edible, and it's actually our favorite part of the broccoli, isn't it, Frankie? Cut that again, right in half. Nice. All right, so then you just cut that guy up, get your broccoli pieces to the size that you're happy with. By the way, you don't have to use all this for the pasta. This is an entire head of broccoli, and it's not necessary that you use all of it, okay? So you can have some left over for other things. We give it to Frankie in her school lunch cold, and she likes it a lot. All right, so Frankie, we're going to put this in the water now. You ready?
Yep. 1, 2, 3, go.
All right, and so this goes right in here. Boiling water. Okay. Put it right here. Thank you. Where's that other piece? Okay, that's cool. And the rest we can clean up. So we're going to put this in here and let it boil until it's done. Thank you. And that's going to be about, I'd say 1 or 2 minutes, maybe 3 at the outside. You don't want to overcook your broccoli. And I'm going to give you guys a secret about broccoli in a second here. That's pretty cool. And the thing is that a lot of people feel like you have to blanch your broccoli in ice water. I'm sure that our videographer, Matthew, has seen us cook a lot of food over the years, and he'd say, oh, of course you're supposed to shock the green vegetable because you're going to cook it and shock it and keep it green and make sure it tastes good. That's not necessary. What we're going to do in this case, sometimes it's necessary when you're doing big batches, but what we're going to do in this case is we're going to take the water because we want to use the water again for pasta. We don't want to waste it. And we're just going to bring it to a boil, and then we're just going to pull it out when it's cooked and lay it out here, and it'll be fine. It'll cool off quickly. It won't become olive drab, which is what you want to avoid with green vegetables. So, Frankie, can you help me opening this thing? Can you tear that open?
Dad, look what I did.
You want to involve your children in any way you can. Some kids are more controlling than others. Mine likes to run the show. So what we're going to do is this is recyclable. Okay? And then this here, we're just going to cut open. Let me do that part, sweetheart. And then we just cut these into little rounds. And Frankie, get your guard on, and you can start cutting. And you can do this together. Obviously, you want to get a big enough cutting board, or two of them that you can use together, which is kind of cool. Hold on a second, let me show you. Boy, this knife is dull. Hold on a second, guys. This is a steel. You can sharpen any knife with this. I'm a little quicker than most people at this, but you get the idea. So Frankie, what you want to do is you want to pull the knife across like that. Don't just press down, kind of saw it, okay? All right?
Like saws,
And
right?
choose a size like that, and now saw it back and forth. See? All right? And so while your child is, having various degrees of success with this, you can use your knife skills to simply bang out the rest of them. All right? But we got to wait for a second. So the broccoli's done. So what we're going to do is we'll pull it out.
That didn't take as long.
Didn't take very long at all, did it? So the broccoli's going to come out. We're just going to lay it out on this sheet pan, or cookie sheet as people call them in households. And then you still got your water boiling. That's going to cool nicely right there. And so now you take about 12 ounces of pasta. I use a lot of gluten-free because I've got a problem with gluten. This says gluten in it, and this is just a Whole Foods pipe rigate for what it's worth. About 12 ounces to a pound, depending upon how many people. And this will feed about 4 folks if you make a salad. And that'll be good. So that will cook, and if you look on here, it'll say something like 9 minutes. But I don't really go by minutes. It says 8 to 10 minutes. I go by, is it done yet? That's perfect. Keep doing it back and forth. So this is like the big part of the project here. You did great. If it doesn't look great, you don't have to worry about it, Frankie.
And would I get it close?
The other thing that might happen is your kid might cut you. There, excellent. All the way through. Take your time. No rush. And the ingredients on this pasta are really tough. It's sausage, broccoli, pasta, salt and pepper, maybe a little chicken stock, and we're going to use some of the pasta liquid to thicken it up. And it's kind of a saucy thing, and then we're going to finish it with our handy-dandy Parmesan grater.
Yeah.
We argue about this all the time at dinner, by the way. And, salt and pepper, and maybe some crushed red pepper.
Then look what I'm doing.
You're doing great. Let's see if you can get through it all. So what I'm going to do with the pasta liquid is I'm just going to take a couple of ladles full, maybe 2 cups, and just hold on to that. And I've got the chicken stock, and I've got that. And then this here, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and we're just going to dump it into the colander, like so. It's pretty straightforward. And let that sit. So now we go back on the stove. A lot of olive oil. We're talking probably...
Dad, that's too much olive oil.
No, it's not. It's just the right amount. It's about 1/3 of a cup. So...
That's too much, 1/3 of a cup.
Well, you may think that, but the thing is that if you want olive oil to be a part of your flavor component, then you need to use a lot of it. Got it?
Gorilla.
Okay, gorilla face. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take... Frankie, you can help me.
Okay.
I need all this sausage, in here. All right? We're just going to get that. Sorry, you missed the boat, pal. We're going to get this just sautéing, a little bit of color, not a big deal. And we're going to let that go for just a minute to get nice and hot. And if you get a little color, that's a good thing. It's caramelization is flavor. It's flavor you don't have to pay for. The one thing I forgot to mention is I always season the water, which I did ahead of time, and I should have showed it to you, and I'm sorry. But this is salt and pepper mix that we use for literally everything in our restaurants, and I use it at home. It's 1 cup of kosher salt to about 1 or 2 tablespoons of ground white pepper. So you can't see the pepper in there, but you can smell it, and it's a part of the flavor. So we use that literally in everything, and we're going to use some here too. So the sausage is cooking. It's going pretty good.
Dad.
Yes.
Why are you so silly?
I don't know. I just am. All right. This is a little bit of chicken stock, and this is a very kind of a saucy pasta item. I'm going to use a little bit of the pasta sauce, and we'll let that cook for just a minute. And then we're going to take the broccoli, and we're going to put that in there too, but I may cut it down just a little bit more, just to make it, essentially what we're after is we're after broccoli that's similar in size to the pasta, so it's like a forkful. So these pieces are great. This one's a little large, so I'll just take it and, gently cut it in half. And as I said, we won't use all of this pasta, we'll just use some of it.
That's not pasta.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll use all the pasta, but some of the broccoli. I'm glad I have you here to keep me on the straight and narrow, Frankie. So that's probably about enough broccoli. And so we're talking about 2 cups. This we can save for later. So Francis, let's do this thing. Pasta goes in. Broccoli goes in. Francis runs away. Yeah. And these flavors are just great together. What I'll do is I'll take a spoon and check the flavor of the broth, and you'll see that needs a little bit more salt and pepper. And is it Christmas? So you have a crown on and you've got a Christmas bell. What is going on today? It's April. Oh, well. So what we're going to do is we brought this back to a boil. And then what we're going to do, Frankie, come on over here and help me serve this, babe. And you can add to this. I made this particularly simple because we want to be able to make it with our kids. But this is an item that I really like. And you can do it with, you can start with onions in the olive oil. You can add more garlic if you want. You can add fresh herbs. Please don't use dried herbs. Like fresh basil would be cool in this. And
Dad, no.
This is the thing we argue over. See, I do this. See what I mean? She can't deal with it, but she insists on it. Oh, she's actually doing it right this time. What do you know? Okay, watch what you're doing. You want so the Parmesan can go over top. A little bit more, please. Don't be cheap. And the Parmesan and the broccoli and the sausage, let me just do a little bit more by myself, okay? There, bossy?
He likes a lot.
So there we go. And that's it. It's as simple as that. And we like the item.
Pasta.
Yeah, and that's Frankie's pasta.
For lunch later, first we're going to go for a riding bike. And then when we come home, I'll have this.
Okay, we can let it cool off while we're riding our bikes. I like that idea. Yeah, maybe we'll do a video on bike riding with your 4-year-old. That's one that will also come with a parental advisory. Okay, Frankie, say bye to everybody.
Bye.